Well, what advice would you give to a young band that was trying to make it in the music industry?
Well, obviously you have to have a passion and you have to be willing to sacrifice, and it's very hard to do that without concentrating on it almost all the time. Obviously you have to eat and you have to pay the rent. But I think you need to focus on the music that you love the most and what you do best. And if you are a band, everybody's got to be pulling in the same direction. Generally, there's going to be a leader. Bands aren't necessarily democracies, but they really have to get out and work. They can't just be playing for friends and family. You've got to put yourself in front of people who are going to judge you objectively, and there's no real personal connection there. And it's a chicken and egg process because it's hard to get out there without your own piece of product or calling card to give to people. A lot of bands now are able to do that, to create something. It's a lot easier to do than when I started in the business. And some bands, that's all they do. They have their own unit. And then it's a matter of word of mouth. We can all talk about the hype in the music business, about the importance of publicity and radio airplay. But unless people are walking out of your gig or listening to you on the radio and following that up by saying, wow, that's really great, and telling their friends about it, chances are, it's not going to happen. I think that the main thing is underestimating the value of playing, and that goes for established artists too. That the more you play, the better the band is going to be. A lot of bands don't even think they have to rehearse. They just go up and they get up and they have a few songs and they play and they kind of jam on them, and usually they don't get anywhere doing that. It takes a lot of work to be a successful band, and you have to be thinking about it constantly, and you have to be thinking about how you can improve your show. I think main thing that I would say with bands starting out is their presentation on the bandstand. Usually young bands could tend to be a bit sloppy. They piddle around in between songs, they play with their equipment, they're obviously not together, and that goes a long way with an audience. So, I guess some bands like the Grateful Dead always got away with it, but most don't.
Can you tell of any particular method that bands use to sell records or merch at the gig that works better than another?
You mean announcing from the...
Well, having somebody go around the tables, or just putting the CDs at the bar is not really enough, is it?
No, you really should have a merch table, and if you're lucky enough to have a roadie with you, that's what they should be doing. But the most successful bands who at selling merchandise are the ones that come over to the table after the show, they announce that they're going to be there, they autograph the CDs, they're talking to people, and they're talking it up. And that's another point. I can't tell you how many talented people I have met who don't know how to play the politics of dealing with venues. No matter how big a jerk the sound man is, no matter how big an idiot the manager is, the idea is to be as nice as possible to these people, and to really get out and sell yourself as a person as well as a musician. I'm always amazed at the people who, despite being great at what they do musically, are unable to do that.